8 questions in here for the UC prompts, right? There are 8 questions that don't change year to year. Even if they did change them, it wouldn't go very far because they have to ask these questions either way. Now, as you go through each of the questions, what I want you to be careful about is the fact that they do have, for example, the first question, they do have things to consider and additional things for you to kind of think about. So do your brainstorm. They don't need to be full sentences off the bat, right? But, what does it mean being a mentor to others, right? When have you acted as the person in charge of a specific task? When did you take a leading role on a project, okay? And they'd say, think about your accomplishments, what you learned from the experience, because here you're talking about your leadership experience where you positively influenced others, okay? So use those keywords, right? Think of this way. What you're really doing is you're saying, where did I positively influence others, right? Where did I resolve disputes, right? How have I contributed to group efforts? Okay. And then you can highlight the different parts in here, right? Did you lead a team? Your experience change, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How do you take care of your family, right? But again, if it comes down to it, like for example, I will say the most common question that students will come back to me and say, I don't know what to say, would be like number 2. But in here, you would actually write, I have nothing to say. That makes sense? Right? It's kind of like, I'm not creative. Okay, now here's one thing about this specific question. What is creativity? Creativity, or the word creation, is putting something or making something that wasn't there previously. And so one approach of this actually is creating events, right? Creating events for people to attend. That is creation as well, right? Creating a safe environment or creating safety in your family. That is creation as well. So there's an approach where you don't want to just think of it as art and engineering, right? Or music, because creativity comes down to art and music are the first 2, right? If you draw something or paint something, and then if you make music, those are the 2 main, you're creative situations. But that's not always true. Creation is any sort of situation where you problem solve, innovative thinking, artistically, to name a few, add on event planning, bringing people together, creating emotions as well, right? Poetry is creative because it creates not only the word, the spoken language, but also the emotions that it elicits within people. So use that approach here. Don't focus only on, hey, I'm only creative, or creativity is only limited to art and music. That's not true. Okay?